Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the show tonight, I have an announcement to make. I am obnoxious. I don't know if I've told the listeners that I'm obnoxious.
Normally, I'm a big show don't tell guy, but in this case, it might be a good move up front.
I'm obnoxious. Many of you have been writing to me saying, "What is it about? Why is Josh beating you in between? Why is he stepping in your neck in between shows? Why is he so mean to you?" Well, nobody's written me that letter, but maybe. Obviously.
But if you're hearing that, it still needs to be dealt with, apparently.
I'm a very obnoxious person. In fact, I went to my therapist, and I said to her, I need a joke that starts out with, I went to my therapist. But no, I've realized it, and from this moment on, I will be a very nice person. I will listen to everybody on the show. There's only one person.
What are you responding to, by the way?
I'm not.
What? Okay.
Oh.
I mean, what made you open with, I'm an obnoxious person?
I think I was thinking about a half hour ago, just thinking about, when you have things going on in your family, but you don't necessarily want to, you don't want to talk about everything that's going on in your family, because it does get too personal sometimes, especially since my cousin Schminky stole my schmuckle out of the hoo-ha at age 39.
With a social security number like that, it takes balls.
55555. Yeah, so I was thinking about how obnoxious, not obnoxious, but my self-perception of myself was that I am an obnoxious person. So I thought if I just announced it, then everything would clear up.
Then you could just not live up to it.
No, that's the problem.
If you couch it as a failure to be obnoxious, you might be able to pull it off.
You know what? I hear you. That's a good suggestion. I'm going to stick it in my back pocket and put a pin in it. Both my back pocket and the pin.
That'll hurt your butt.
You are wearing tonight a Jackie Cation show, The Dork Forest.
Yes, I am.
And that reminds me that I need to contact them. Everything reminds me of something else, but today's a red. Now, can I ask you a question before we start?
Wow.
Have we started yet?
Yeah, sure.
Now, you made a decision. You changed the direction of our show. But you didn't bring it up at an executive meeting. You didn't say, I need to have a thing.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, why that? Did you do that because it doesn't matter, you're in charge, basically?
Yeah.
You make the shots, or you call the shots, or you call the things?
No.
2, you knew if you ran it by me, it would take a week and a half. Oh, look at this. This has a thing.
No, not exactly.
3, you forgot that I was the co-host of the show.
No.
4, you cleared it through Alex Brazell, and then if I said anything about it, I go 2 against 1. 5, you knew I wanted to get something going, so it didn't matter to check it with me. Or C, none of those or something.
It's sort of none of those. I signed us up for buymeacoffee.com.
I like it.
As a way that you, the listeners, can help support the show. And yes, I did it. I wouldn't have published it without your consent.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's why I was checking. I wanted to do it because I had momentum going.
Right. You had momentum going on ideas.
On it's time to do this. It's time to.
Right, what are we waiting for?
It's time to monetize.
Monetize. Ooh.
Yeah. So I did feel like it was more of a follow the momentum of this feeling.
And why would you go with that? I'm asking you now as a interviewer. Why would you go with them? Why did you go with them as opposed to a Patreon?
I like the tone of it.
Yes.
I like the tone of it. I feel like it's just lunch of the crowdfunding world.
That's right. What are they worried about? It's just lunch.
Buy me a coffee.
Once a month.
Buy me a coffee.
Once a month.
But it's not once a month.
It could be one time.
Patreon, that's why I didn't want to do Patreon, is because Patreon is a monthly subscription.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Buy Me a Coffee, you have the one-time option or the monthly option.
Oh, okay. Well,
and we have 3 listeners who've signed up for the monthly option, and we'll name them later in the show.
Is that really true?
Yes.
Oh my goodness
Just
gracious!
from our tweet announcement today, many people have already donated, and we genuinely appreciate it.
I've had 3 texts from Alex Brazell since 7.
Yeah, what did he say?
Saying how much have we made? No, nothing. But
so were you irked?
No,
that I did that?
No, at first I did think to myself, should he have everything?
Probably. I will. Let me just say at the beginning of this conversation. Yeah, probably I should have.
But then I said, no, I see this. I know it's something I want to do. So then I decided that I didn't care about that part. But I just was wondering.
Yeah, I was. What I don't like about Patreon is, like I said, you can't just do a one-time gift,
right?
And I don't like that you can't. That I don't know. I don't like the.
I think it's patronizing.
It's patronizing. I don't like the that.
Me tooth.
Now you're finally back.
Did you know that day that I didn't get that joke?
Yes, I did. And Alex actually texted me as he was.
And I had no reaction to it?
As he was mastering the show, going, I can't believe Andy didn't hear the Me Tooth joke.
Me tooth. And so you were cool enough not to even say anything. You'd say, let this go out in the world like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah, exactly. Historically, if there's a good joke you don't notice, someone in our universe will at least send me out props.
Well,
for it.
the great Jen Kirkman.
Jen
too.
Kirkman
the great
was the
Jen
one
Kirkman.
today.
When she goes out of her way, she doesn't have time to do this. Yes, she does seem to have time. She's online all the time. I'm online a little bit less, maybe. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, you're trying to make her self-conscious now? Yes. Way to go, asshole.
That's part of my whole problem. I'm a Schadenfreude fan. Hey, I didn't do anything. Jen Kirkman did it. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
Why are you yelling at me about my Florida tweet? Josh just a couple of days ago did something not the similar, but what was your thing? You did a similar, not a similar, but you did a disaster tweet.
I don't remember. I did tweet and delete one because it wasn't funny enough for the stand.
Oh, for the who?
For the stand. I think it was a thing about just noting that the other day when I woke up that the hurricane they were saying had moved north.
Yes.
It's headed straight north. So it appeared as if it was moving from Mar-a-Lago to Camp David as its target.
Well, the thing is that I love the way when Trump gets one idea in his head, he's like, yeah, they think it could make a right. So he thinks he's a genius now.
Right.
He thinks he's probably qualified to be a.
He thinks when these things come, he's like he's like Bill Nye with a head injury.
If you rake the forest more, I missed that almost. If you rake the forest here, we wouldn't have forest fires. A person who lives in a forest country told me that.
Right. I'm a partial parrot of things I hear.
Did you see? I finally saw that lumbering oaf swing a golf club.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad. I mean, I thought he couldn't do anything.
No, he's a good golfer. That's the thing.
You think he is?
Yeah, he's a good golfer.
How do you say that?
I mean, I think he's a cheater too, but I think in general he's a good golfer.
It's the only thing he's okay at.
Like he does it a fucking lot, and he owns golf courses.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you're not a good golf player, why do you do it?
Well, it would only indicate that he was even more insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, being a good golf player historically is not a measure of one's character.
Historically, it's not.
No.
You never heard Martin Luther King said, and I was on the golf course today, and I said to myself, am I in the trap? I may not get to the rough with you. Come on, this is good.
There's very few sports of high character where you traditionally hire someone to carry your toys for you.
That would even have a word named caddy. Well, caddy, I think, comes from a caddy. Or does it come from the other way?
Huh?
The caddy, it's like a remote. I know you, when you first called me up and said, Andy, you got to come over here and see my remote control caddy.
Yeah.
So great.
That came from the golfer thing, the golfing thing.
Yeah, it has all my remote controls.
Right.
In one lazy Susan.
You don't need a person because you're never moving.
Then one time I got a gift from a TV show for a remote control commander. This was the remote control.
A universal remote?
Yes.
The remote to end all remotes?
And this was like 15 years ago, and I thought it was so cool. It's a completely useless device.
Yeah,
You're never going to be in one area operating everything.
Everyone had some heartbreak with that, it seems like, at a certain time.
Do you have a universal controller? And I'm not just talking about your wife.
No, I do not.
Yeah, a lot of the things should be getting simpler, not harder. Simpler. That's been my big thing. I don't make remote controls, but I do speak English. And a lot of times I look at these instructions and I just think, make it simpler is what I say.
There's a lot of remotes you can just talk into now.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about about changing things that we were doing this way to, give me the porch, please.
Yeah, no, I am too. I do have the Alexa, but I don't hook it up to anything.
Sergio Mendes and the Brazil 66 on Come On Baby Light My Fire, please.
In the guest bathroom.
in the guest bathroom, and also down the hall in the chambers, in the maids' chambers.
Yes.
Lights go on. Lights go on. A little bit more. Now the bottom lights go on. The bottom lights. What are the bottom lights?
I don't know
am
what you're talking about.
Open the drapes. Oh, doctor, why is it that you say I'm so ill? You haven't moved in 15 years. Do you ever like turn on anything? Oh no, I have my universal remote. It does my abs for me.
You only move to come to the doctor.
That's right. Don't do that. Hey doc, every time I do stand up, my right hand hurts. Don't do stand up. You think that's ever going to work for us?
No.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. We're very excited. We could be making cups of coffee right now. And
We could be.
And we get our coffee free. That's the thing I love. Oh, I get it free from you. Every Monday I've looked forward to a cup of coffee at Josh Elvis Weinstein's house.
That's a new tradition.
And you know why it's good? It tells you to concentrate.
It does. Coffee means business.
That's right. Let's have a cup of Joe.
It turns this normal dining room table into mission control.
Do you feel more pressure now?
I have some ashtrays with beanbag bottoms and
Mission
packs of Winstons.
I would like Winston. I have a feeling was a bad cigarette, and I'm sure you tried one.
More than one.
And what'd you think?
Yeah, it was low on the list.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to smoke things like Lucky Strikes because I thought they looked cool.
I smoked Lucky Strikes quite a bit.
Filtered.
I smoked filtered Lucky Strikes.
Okay, but can you tell us, as an ex-smoker, did you enjoy anything like a Pall Mall or a Camel unfiltered?
I'd never liked unfiltered cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't like the factor.
Did you get into a
Same reason I don't like wild rice.
Why?
That factor.
Well, you know why I don't like wild rice? I like wild and crazy rice.
It's like I wanted to get ahead of you, but I just
We are wild. We are two wild and crazy ricemen. Oh, come on. My mind is click. Click. How about yours? Me too.
It's clack.
Click and clack. Oh, boy. So what's been going on? What's up with your world? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for What's Going On with Josh E. Boy, that makes you want to talk, doesn't it?
It really does.
Hey, Josh, here's what my mother would tell me when I came home from school. Let's see if it worked for you.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened in school today. You know I don't want to hear it. and within 3 seconds, you will feel in your pit of your stomach a sense of defeat like you've never felt before. And you won't want to talk to adults for 15 more years. So, honey, what did you do in school today? Oh, you went to school. Oh, very nice. That was my mother.
Back to one.
That was my mother trying to be a mother when I come home from school.
Well, it's nice that you tried. My mother was at work.
Look, what I would have paid to have my mother out of the house.
I was a poor latchkey kid.
Did you have that accent too? I'm a latchkey.
I did. I'm a latchkey kid.
How old were you when you were young at home alone?
I can't talk right now. I'm a latchkey kid.
Oh, I'm Adam Sandler. Oh.
Don't cheapen what I was doing with that.
Gregory Peck as a Bobby Soxer. He's a Bobby Soxer, and he's also Mengele.
We're going to the hop to find some Jews.
Bobby.
Do
you know, if I had to be exposed to Mengele, I would have preferred a Gregory Peck sounding Mengele. Thank you.
I watched. I have to look at what it was called, but it was like Confessions of a Nazi Spy with Edward G. Robinson.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the. It's like on an IMC or TCM.
TCM.
And it says the Nazi Spy. And it's got Edward G. Right, something like that.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Now, will I enjoy
Hitler
that?
happy jerk comes coming down. He does use the phrase Hitler happy.
Hitler happy, huh?
Yeah, I think you might like it because it's very. It's like 1939.
See.
So it's like sort of has that, we know the Nazis are bad thing.
And it's right.
And they talk about concentration camps, but no one knows they're death camps when they're talking about them yet. But,
yes.
But this was all about Nazis in America. This was all about the Nazi Party in America, and it was like an American propaganda movie against German propaganda.
Did they have them
It was
meeting
like a
at
double
Madison?
propaganda dip.
Did they have the meeting at Madison Square Garden? Because that's
No.
where they actually did meet.
No, but they had, meetings of Nazis in America, and the theory, we're all Germans and we can rise up from within, basically.
Wow.
Our loyalty is to Germany.
Was he like
And there was
posing?
occasional German people go, no, mister, my loyalty is to the great old USA.
They talk like that, the
Yeah.
Germans?
Well, yeah. in that
I
movie.
think every German, I don't care where they're
to
from,
prove
they
how
all
American they are.
No, they all sound like this. You Schweinhund.
Really?
I will find every Jew. I will find every Jew. Hogan. Not a good German.
No.
That was the name of my first book.
But someone might give you some strudel.
Strudel. I really want to see. It's so funny because I was looking around for new things this week, and I definitely saw that. And there's a couple of other things that I wanted to see on Turner Classic Movie that I think I should have seen. Oh, I saw Straight Time. I wanted to actually recommend that movie to you. It was not bad. It's Dustin Hoffman. It's 1978.
Yeah.
He gets out of prison. He's 4'3". Forget that part.
He's a small man.
I enjoyed the rhythm on that. I think he's taller than me, but still comes off like a short guy.
Yeah. Especially when his partner in the movie is George Mirasan. Extremely tall. NBA center from the 80s that
Who was he?
Billy Crystal did a movie, My
I didn't see
Giant.
that.
With.
No, but there were a lot of people in this movie. Teresa Russell is a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And she played the love interest.
Okay.
And
I feel like I've seen it, but
I'm
I
sure.
can't remember anything about it.
it was good. It had E. Emmett Walsh. Is that his name?
M. Emmett Walsh.
Emmett Walsh. And that guy is mean.
Yeah.
Does he always play a mean guy?
No.
Oh,
Not
okay.
always.
Wasn't he in Cool Hand Luke, too? What we'll have here. That's not him.
No, that's not
That's another guy. So I watched that.
That's Sterling Hayden.
Sterling, that's right. And I enjoyed Straight Time because I came out here in 1978. So it's like really kind of cool to me to see.
L.A. as you met it.
Yes. It's so cool. And they have nothing but shots of L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all driving around and.
Have you ever seen that doc, L.A. Plays Itself?
No.
It's a great doc. It took years and years for it to get cleared. In fact, it was like a paragon of fair use law.
Was it like L.A.'s a character?
It's basically all the times that L.A.
Yeah.
has been used in movies from a real a film historical perspective. It's not a super poppy movie.
Oh, that's what I fell in love with from watching TV was L.A., but I didn't realize that that's what I was falling in love with, really.
Because it was playing a lot of places.
How do you mean?
I mean, they used L.A. forever.
Yes. But like stuff like
You had an
Rockford.
elm tree, suddenly it was Michigan.
But like Rockford, I love all those things with Rockford and
Yeah.
we're all in L.A. And this Straight Time was like downtown everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't remember one thing. I don't think it was a great movie, but it was okay.
I have a real terrible knowledge of downtown L.A., really.
Oh, I know I do because I get lost there every time. Now it's a little gentrified in some areas. Susan loves it because she used to love to take pictures down there.
Yeah, it's.
But now it's harder. Everything is. You know how everything is these days, right, Josh?
Yeah, harder?
No.
Is that what you're going
can't
for?
win.
Oh, right.
And why can't you win, Josh?
Because it's harder.
Why is it harder? Because you can't win. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the double talkers. Really? Okay, so anything happened between, I know, I always ask this.
Yeah.
Anything happened for you this week? That was your back hurt, your back didn't hurt. You haven't even, people have been writing to me and saying, why won't you talk about the progress in your back? Which means, I think, the back has not improved.
The back is not improved.
It's back where it was before.
It's slightly worse than it was before, I would say, before the surgery. But not, radically worse than before the surgery.
Did he pay you for the surgery?
Yes. I'm waiting for my rebate.
That's disappointing to me.
Terribly disappointing. And I haven't had the momentum to
Follow up.
Go back and do another one.
Did he say to you, look, we're going to try it this way, but I think we're going to have to go in through the other way?
He didn't say it
should
like
have pitched
that.
it that way.
No, he didn't say it that way, but different operation.
Oh, to fix something different.
No, fixing the same thing, but doing a different procedure to do it.
Oh. Well, I would have gone with the procedure that worked. You love this kind of stuff.
Asshole.
This is what you... Asshole, shut up. Well, okay. Well, I'm feeling good.
Let me flip it back on you. How about you, Andy? What did you do that was exciting and really interesting and worthy for a podcast this week?
God, I can see how it is. See, that's why I started out saying I'm obnoxious, because I can see that there's no winning with my method. Hello, welcome to the show where I get nervous immediately about how the conversation's going. And so I try to artificially go, hello, Josh. How was your week? How was your week? How was your week? How was his week? It was good. Andy, good. What did you do? I went to the doctor. Went to the doctor. Did you have to go to the grocery store? Yeah, ha, 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 yeah, ha, 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 ooh. I went to the farmer's market. Did you really, Andy? No, but I thought it would be a good anecdote.
It would make me sound like the kind of person I would like to sound like.
On the podcast. Yes. It's Dr. Demento. All right. So, okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
I have a question to ask you. I was watching the MTV Video Music Awards. I hadn't watched it in many years. Yeah, I wanted to watch it.
That doesn't sound like you.
Well, Susan wanted to watch it, and then I said, I'll watch it. And so, I mean, some of the performances were incredible, but I would say...
Did you find it a little depressing going like full half hours without knowing anyone?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit I feel like Old Man River. Yeah. But I think there's way more poppy acts than there ever were, like that acts that seem like Justin Timberlake style acts. Hey, what you ho ha ho, dance dance dance, rump up up, throw your head in the air, boom, boy hoy hoy, half naked guy goes over here, I go underneath the thing.
There's a lot more extraneous people on stage for most things.
And they're all going, oh.
Is that your audio version of dancing?
Yeah, it's like wah wah. It's like you can't. Josh, I've been working
spastic noises with jazz hands.
Now, Josh, I told you I've been working on my new songs, right? So, what do you think of this one? I can't believe, and then I go like this with my hands.
Yeah.
How this world is going along. And I go around my ears like that, and then step 2, 3, 4, step 2, 3, 4. I like Mardi Gras. That's what music is. You can't even sing a song and go, what are you dancing? How are you dancing with this song? I got up in the morning. I'm getting up in the morning, and I comb my hair. I'm combing my hair with a hot babe comes in with a comb. So that's my review of the kids today. But the guy who hosted it, I felt bad for him in a way.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an impossible gig.
Yeah, it's a pretty rowdy crowd.
It's Sebastian. This is a guy who before Montreal, he was like on the cover of Variety, and so they go, this guy's the next big thing. So I wanted to make fun of him. In Montreal, I never got to see what his act was like.
Right.
So I did see what his act was like here, and it's like, I just don't see how you can host a thing like that and to do stuff like, what's up with Italians? I mean, I don't know. There's no way to evaluate him in this setting.
Right.
Because I don't know who he is. And he's
Sebastian Mancuso?
Maniscalco.
Okay.
And he's a huge act, they say.
I've seen the name. I've mispronounced it now. I apparently never read it very well as it was going by.
Well, Susan was here. Susan was far left. She goes, hey, here's an advertisement for Sebastian Maniscalco. And it says, what was the thing? Oh, yeah, they were like the bit was called, people, there should be a dress code at the airport. That type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Okay. He's supposedly doing non-controversial, let's all laugh together type stuff.
Right.
But I didn't find it hilarious, but then I can't judge because it was the MTV Video Music Awards.
But you just said a bunch of words that mean hack.
I hesitate to use that word, and yet that's the implication.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just like, the thing is, I was reading an article about how huge he was, and it's like so much has to do with how likable he is and how much he, answers all of his fans' letters and stuff like that. Not specifically that.
He's good at being a brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what
a lot of these kids are, Andy.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? We've got a buy me a cup of coffee. Buymeacoffee.com.
I was just, every time in the show that we have a person we're interviewing who says, yeah, I was in the majors, I went up for a cup of coffee, we'll have ding!
Yes.
You know that expression?
I do.
Apparently, he thought he would get a cup of coffee from running naked onto the field. Anything but. Anything but.
I was at the store today, and I bought some grapes. Picked up some grapes.
Well, I want to say right now it's the wrong season for grapes, I think.
These were the cotton candy grapes.
Oh, they're good.
And as I'm picking them up, this woman looks over, sees what I have in my hand, and says in like full like Liza Minnelli voice, like, "That's what I'm here for, the cotton candy grapes."
Oh my God. Now that sounds like something I would say as a joke to someone in the market. Was she a little nutty?
She was a little nutty.
Oh, she wasn't a performer.
I can't say.
It wasn't Liza Minnelli.
It was not Liza Minnelli.
That's what I came here for. It was
that kind of tone. It was
Was
like
she
someone
shopping?
doing a Liza Minnelli impression.
Was she shopping?
She was shopping, yes. But for grapes, apparently. That's what I came here for, the cotton candy grapes.
And how did you react to it?
I went, huh. I smiled and nodded.
Hey, remember the time that I saw you?
I almost took out a grape and did a little toast with her, grape to grape. But
remember the time that you came out of your car and I said, and I was leaving the supermarket.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you, Josh. I'll see you. I have an ice cream melting situation.
I wish it was that firm. It was much more like, I can't talk for long because I have ice cream. I have ice cream.
Someone should have, if you had shot me right then, we could have avoided this whole nightmare. My wife would have met.
Such a brush-offy thing, you know.
I can't talk to you right now. Ice cream.
I can't talk for long. I got ice cream.
El Brushoffio. Ladies and gentlemen, Blowhardy and Brushoffio. I toured the country as albuterol, I recently tweeted.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
To great acclaim.
Nothing. You can't substitute me for a rescue inhaler. Oh, I love doing jokes based on the fact that all I do is watch pharmaceutical commercials all day and all night.
Yeah.
And if I don't fast forward quick enough. Because do you know, like, Telegy? Telegy. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Telegy. Now, I'm going to say one thing to you right now.
Is it Telegy?
It is Telegy. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. The song ABC is a horrible song, except it's not a horrible song.
Right.
Because the Jackson 5 are singing it. And all you got to do is say after me. It's like I'm going to do a song about the ABCs. It's not about all you got to do is say Telegy. That's not what it was meant for. And therefore, it's not as good a song anymore.
So you're saying they've somehow cheapened the song by throwing in words about pharmaceuticals as opposed to feelings.
They're not even trying to throw in words. They just took out instead of ABC, they say Telegy.
Yeah.
That's not doing anything with the song.
It's a parody. It is a song parody, but not funny.
Would you prefer this one? Ozempic. Now, I read an article about Iggy Pop, and it was such a New Yorker, and I love the article, and I realized I did not know any of their music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the Stooges, which was their first album, or the other. What is a good? I mean, I love him as a character, but then I don't know if I like them. What's the music like? It's hard to describe, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was, for its day, it was very hard.
Yeah.
But, in the context of all of rock history, it's
Did you
rock.
like his stuff?
It's rock, Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not like in my regular rotation, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a brief incarnation, really, kind of, right? Not necessarily.
No, not really.
5 years, or maybe they stayed together in various...
I think it existed as a band for years and years.
Right.
But
right.
I think people died along the way.
And did he do stuff with Bowie, or he just was...
Yeah, he did.
Bowie? Yeah, I think there's a lot of... Like, I don't know anything about the MC5. I don't know anything about a lot of these groups that were...
Sha Na. I'm telling you, John and I was punk pioneers.
Oh, that's right.
Concerned.
I was right. Who said that recently? Did you say it on the show?
I said it certainly on Twitter and on the show.
Yeah, they were punk pioneers.
And then I saw someone else write an article a few days later about it.
Yeah. I loved them when I first saw them.
But if you look at that energy of that Woodstock performance, I really do think it's punk.
And did they get a good reaction at Woodstock, or it's hard to tell?
I don't know. They went on like at
4 in the morning.
4 in the morning before Hendrix on the last Monday.
Oh, my God. You don't want to do that. At least you don't have to follow.
It was light out, I remember. So,
ask me how I did it at Woodstock.
how'd you? No, I don't want to.
How I did at Woodstock? Well, I had to follow Jimi Hendrix' Star Spangled Banner. I had to follow that. It was like crazy. Everyone's like, do something very dramatic. And I was like,
I played "Oh Canada" on a kazoo.
I played. This is the only reason why I think we should do a video of the show is if you could have seen how excited you were.
I know.
You loaded up on it.
I was just committed.
Oh, Canada with a kazoo. I have a request. Can you play Down by the River on a kazoo? Oh, I had a little Albert Brooks there.
A little bit.
Albert Brooks, Fidelity Savings. That's a joke. And what else is in the news? What else is in the news?
I hate what else is in the news.
I know. Okay.
Don't do that to me.
Oh, happy Labor Day.
To you too.
And yeah, I don't understand labor. I mean, it's for people who've worked. It's taking off. We salute people who've worked because we all have worked.
Pretty
haven't
much.
we?
I mean, it was the late 18th. It was Grover Cleveland who declared it.
Who's Grover Cleveland Alexander? Or did I just make up that
He
name?
was a baseball player.
See, in my childhood, I probably mixed those two people up often.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Labor Day, for me, it was off in the State Fair, the Minnesota State Fair growing up. And I had this very weird fascination with the telethon.
With the what?
The telethon.
Well, you know I did too, right? Did we talk about
I
this?
think everyone did.
I don't think everyone did.
I do.
I think it's a special kind of Jew kid.
Maybe.
Like to watch that.
Did you ever wake up in the middle of the night and check that it was still on and they weren't cheating?
Well, no, I think I thought I told myself I'd watch it almost the whole way through,
Yeah.
but it actually starts at night, right?
It starts at like 6 o'clock the night before.
Right. And it goes on supposedly 24 hours.
Something like that.
Walk on, I can't hit the high note, so I'll never. I'm crying, folks. I'm crying because I can't sing. And they would go to different areas. I love that. They go to Ed McMahon, and and then someone would be at the Improv. It was like, you could get on.
And he'd kick it off to like Tony Orlando or someone in Vegas while he napped away.
And then towards the end, he only came out for it seemed like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a little more sparse. Did you see the other day I tweeted that Trump is in the 21st hour of the telethon phase of his presidency?
Oh, if only it were true. If only it were true. It's a dark scene out there, Josh.
Yes, Andy.
It's hard to wake up in the morning and not want to. I don't know what I want to do, but I don't want to turn the TV on. That I know.
Yeah, I'm watching less news.
I watched the Columbo with Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Didn't we talk about that already? Or was there another?
I talked about Little Richard.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's a whole different thing. Johnny Cash is like one of those singers, like country singers.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Would you?
What did they call him?
No, but they would go. He was like a country gospel singer. Give us some money, boom, boom, boom. Give us some money, home, home, and we're gonna walk to the Lord.
Like Johnny Goodfaith or something.
But he was a bad character.
Sure.
That was the thing that you really had to think about.
Hi, I'm Johnny Goodfaith. I don't have time to talk to you, Columbo. I got a show to do.
Yeah, but now...
pardon me, Mr. Goodfaith. I just have a couple of questions. I don't have time for you now, Columbo.
Columbo? What's your name again? What'd you say your name was?
I'm Johnny Goodfaith.
No, what'd you say? Your name's Columbo? I was doing Johnny Goodface.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was right. Now, Johnny Goodface. You're that. I used to always love when you go, you're the one for the thing. He always pretended he was, my wife loves you. Uh-oh. Batteries are rolling on the table.
Oh, shit.
An exciting
It's
moment.
pandemonium.
Look at this, Josh. I'm doing this with my, no, we had no assignments this week.
We didn't. We forgot.
I don't think we forgot. I think we've purposely not wanted to do it. So, no, I'm ready to go back.
We talked about we were going to, at the beginning of the show last week, we're going back on and then we didn't do anything. What should we watch? I watched the Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
How was that?
It was pretty good.
Oh. What's that about?
She's really good. It's about a woman author who
plagiarized?
Didn't plagiarize, but she forged literary letters and sold
like
them.
From somebody to somebody else?
Like Dorothy Parker or
And this is a true story, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And did she get away with it for a while?
A little bit. A little bit.
But then, so that sounds interesting.
She like came on the scene, splashed, and then got a bad reputation very quickly.
Right,
it
yeah,
seems
and
like.
you can't recover from that.
No.
Usually, you can't go back into Al Capone's vault.
Right,
the second
but
time.
she, she's great.
I wanted to see that. Who directed that? Was it Feig?
No, I can't remember who did, but Nicole Holofcener co-wrote the script.
Wow. Tell me the name again, because I'll watch this now.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? I think it's called.
I can. What'd you do?
But
Well, the Mets are still, believe it or not, they're not. They still have a chance. They're still 3. First of all, I'm the last person to find out that there was a wild card playoff game.
Yeah.
Every year when they've had the wild card playoff game, you know what I've said?
Oh, there's a wild card playoff game?
I thought it was because they tied. 2 teams tied.
Ah.
Every year for the last 12 years?
No, it hasn't been that long.
Few years, though.
It's
3
been
years.
a few years since
Yeah.
the play-in game.
It makes it exciting, though, in a way, if you have a
It
team
makes
like the
it
Mets.
exciting for one more city for one more day.
That's true. But that still keeps you up through the rest of the,
Yeah.
It's gambling. Like a gamble.
Sure.
Otherwise, what are you going to watch? I can't watch things if I'm not emotionally invested.
No.
And the Twins are doing good.
That's why you
Don't
that's
listen
why
to
you
the show.
watch Real Housewives.
Yeah.
The Twins are doing good. Twins are back in first place. They're going to make the playoffs, I think.
And it's college football time. I feel I can smell the gridiron in my shoes. No.
Huh?
And I'm watching the U.S. Open. Federer.
Yeah.
Federer's cleaning up. Not really.
Yeah, but he won in straight sets last night.
He did. And by the time this next week, when you're listening to this, boy, will you be glad that it didn't. This is going to be me the last day of my.
Well, Djokovic just got.
Yeah, he retired after 2 sets.
Yeah.
And some people boo, which wasn't very nice.
That's not cool. Just because it's called Flushing Meadows doesn't mean you have to act like shit.
Oh, my God. Wait a second. I didn't know that growing up until I was an adult, that it was all built on landfill. I mean, you're saying it by Flushing Meadows.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it that way. Maybe that's how they called it.
Might be.
But that's a horrible name. I call that Flushing Meadows, where we're putting all the
we
excrement.
drained all the shit. We've literally flushed the meadow.
Flushing Meadow. Hey, you're doing a good job flushing the. Hey, let's call this place Flushing Meadows.
Well, you almost called it used to be shit here, but we thought we'd flower it up
from
a little.
formerly a sewer, New Jersey. Formerly a sewer.
Yeah,
Not bad.
That was better than used to be shit here, but.
Look, what I do is I take what you do, I reuse it in a way.
Yes.
That's
I'm
my
well aware.
brand. Oh boy, how come I can't?
I don't know. It's
me.
It's part of it. Is
It's just not forcing it.
Stop acting so put upon.
Why am I forcing it? Why does every 3 minutes I
If
go
there's some quiet? I can take it out.
Wow. Whew. Well, we've come. I don't know. You don't want me to say what else?
Excruciating. Oh my God!
I know you don't want me to say what else is in the news.
Tick, 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 tick.
I keep saying to myself every week I'm going to come in with a list of things. Where's your damn list?
That's why I'm here for the cotton candy grapes.
Now, how did that woman get your eye? I think of you in a supermarket, your head's down and nobody can engage
No,
you.
but I think she was looking for the cotton candy grapes.
Oh,
saw
I see.
that I grabbed a package that caught her eye, and she went, as I said,
You'll come.
"That's what I came for, the cotton candy grapes."
That, I think, does prove maybe there's a God that they try to cheer you up. That was
a good soundbite can make a day.
that's a good soundbite.
It's a great soundbite. I love that's why I hate walking around with earphones,
That's true.
because you miss that shit.
That's true. Oh, look at you! You're the,
I'm really that's how I get my entertainment in the world.
You're a writer, explorer, I guess. Well, was that meant to put me down?
No. It was meant to explain how a choice that I make in life versus a choice that many other people make.
This is the most sensitive,
You narcissistic piece of shit.
most sensitive man in the world. Why are you saying that? Are you saying it because you know I like to listen to things? Yeah, well, first of all, listening to a podcast intently and walking through the neighborhood, I believe is how I'm going to be killed. I have no sense of my surroundings. Whether it's someone backing out of their driveway or peeling around the corner.
That's why you should just walk on the freeway so you don't have that cross traffic.
I've been walking down by the old L.A. River. Man, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, not that fun, but that's all I got.
Did you kill a hobo?
That's not nice. That hobo was already dead. And we took a joke and went a little further. That's the way comedy goes.
Cotton candy grapes.
Oh, I left my appliance in my mouth. I've been usually not leaving my appliance in my mouth. That means I'm getting better.
Your blender?
My teeth are in my mouth.
That appliance.
That appliance. No, I used to. Remember when I was the blender guy and I would put a blender in my mouth?
Yes.
We're enjoying our blended fruit juices.
Are you?
We have one of those mini bullets or whatever you call them.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
You're making smoothies in the cup?
Yeah. Do you like acai? Do you like chia seeds?
No.
Do you like... Well, you have to put some of that stuff in there because it gives you protein. No one likes chia seeds.
Yeah.
You stick it in there for a little binding power.
And hair grows in your colon.
Chia. I know that's the thing. I don't like. I associated with that. But
You should.
Do you go through a smoothie phase ever, or not too much?
Not if I'm eating a lot of fiber.
Oh,
Smoothie face.
oh my God! Oh God!
I was
Folks,
equating it to diarrhea. Is my point.
folks, if you can figure out what happened to Josh when he started going off the rails, are you going out of town? Do you know? Or you don't know? We can talk at the break.
Yeah.
You don't know? 50-50?
Oh, for the project. I don't know yet.
Have you? Oh, okay. Well, that's a bad thing to bring up. Let me bring up other things that we don't know are happening.
Got any other dead enders?
I got a couple more. So, Josh, anything interesting happening with you this week that you'd like to talk about after I introduce it by, hey, Josh?
Well, I smoked some salmon. That was a big hit with people.
You need to come up with more activities during the week that are fascinating. That's all I'm telling you.
I probably do.
Or, this is what people want. They want the pan quotidian, our daily shtick.
Well, it just goes to show that if you didn't have a major crisis, we got no show.
Well, that's true. That is true. And I was thinking about, I had some therapy things I could run by you.
Yeah.
Because I think that the people come to expect that I'm unbalanced, right?
Right.
And
Fair enough.
that I have a lot of problems.
True that.
Well, actually, the one thing I'm going through right now is that I'm afraid that things I say at therapy that my therapist is going to turn me in for them. Now, I know what you're saying. What are you saying? I'm not saying anything about trying to strangle my uncle.
All right.
No, I'm saying like I start to think what I'm saying is so... Because my whole thing is I've done something horrible or I'm going to get caught for doing something horrible.
Right.
So I start to think, what if she thinks I'm horrible now? And she's going to... Now, I've been in therapy...
Well, but the real question is you must think that she's horrible.
No.
Because for her to do that would be a huge ethics violation.
Well, that's the logic of it. Why am I... there's no rationale to it.
Right.
Because I know she won't do that.
Right.
But I still find myself editing what I'm saying to her.
Right.
I think it's like a big thing for me. It's obvious like I'm focusing on the fact that I literally don't trust anyone. I can get to the point where I don't trust anything or anybody.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to overcome because you can't live that way. I mean, I'm getting better at it. I mean, I don't feel like that's how I feel, but if I'm thinking, why am I, what she'd be thinking, that's an obsessive compulsive thing that still somehow means I'm giving up my power to someone who's going to tell me you're good about this and you're bad about that and you should do the following 8 things to improve your life.
Right. Well, yeah, you're still afraid of the disapproval of her.
Right. And that's the reason why it's very interesting. Once you know that someone is not disapproving and they are not going to disapprove and you still feel that way.
No, I mean, look how often you just hang disapproval on me that isn't there.
I know. Or what else is in the news? All of that stuff is me feeling awkward in the moment. And, but it's gotten less and less with the podcast because it used to be that I would dread the podcast because I don't want to do anything.
Right.
And so I would, not dread it, but think, what do I have to do? And am I going to be okay? And so it's getting better, but I still have problems if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Phew. Because we just did the buy me a coffee thing. You can't run out of problems now.
Oh, that's right. I can't. Well, I'm saying I think that's a big problem if you can't trust your therapist. And also the idea that you invest unconsciously.
Do you think there is a therapist that exists that you could trust to that level?
I think there's nobody I could trust more than her. She's
Okay.
like the most trustworthy person I've ever seen, in a way. I mean, but that's the thing. I start to exaggerate who the person is, and that's not what you're supposed to do in therapy. You're supposed to get, not supposed to. Everyone does it.
Right.
Everyone does it. You feel terrible about yourself. You want to know what your therapist thinks about you.
Right.
But then at some point you have to realize that it's not about other people and what they think about you. And that's my whole thing. If that's all I'm focused on, then no behavior is inside out. It's all outside in.
Right. And do you tell her that I'm holding back?
No, we've been talking more about why I'm not holding back. I'm more telling her, as I'm telling you this, I'm worried that, it's like that, worried I've done something horrible, but I can't remember it. And so that makes me think that I was disciplined in a way that undermined my basic self-esteem. Maybe that happens to a lot of people.
Well, I think you got into a lot of surprise trouble.
Yeah.
It sounds like where the fuck did that come from? Trouble, And when you live in that kind of unpredictable thing, you're always in sort of a clench, I would think.
Yeah, but the desire to present your life as normal or to believe it was normal is very debilitating. And I don't know if that's because I'm the youngest that I had to constantly justify it to myself.
But is that what you feel in the therapist, that you need to present your life as normal to her? Okay, yeah.
No, it's just that.
I think one of the great reliefs of our current era is the amount that people are finding out that there is no normal.
Yeah. With identity and all that kind of stuff.
With anything.
Yeah.
That everyone is carrying around some sort of trauma and everyone is broken in some way and everyone is, more afraid than they're letting on and more anxious than they're letting on and more depressed than they're letting on,
Yeah, that's why when I talk to people about anxiety and you find out how many people suffer from it, it really does help. It's like, I know that I don't want to be the person that goes, I'm feeling anxiety, and I could be a tendency to be that person, to overshare. But some of these people have never brought it up. I never had any idea that that's what they were suffering from for so long. It means a lot of anxiety out there,
Yeah, and I don't think everyone is concealing it because of stigma. I think there's plenty of, like for me, I'm a pretty private person.
That's true.
I happen to do a podcast once a week and talk about shit, but in general, I'm a pretty internally processing person.
Right.
And part of the way you deal with that shit is going, all right, put it away while we go out and deal with the world, So it's not like everyone is not talking about it because they're afraid what people will think about them. I think it's...
Yeah, they're just getting on with their lives.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that I just feel anxious now. What happened, it's like, the reason why I started to feel anxiety now, because like when we were at that lunch with Paula, if I try to ignore it or cover up for it, it does not work.
Right.
So I've learned that I'm trying to learn a new way of being a person. So in that case, I would never have told anybody ever that I went out to vomit.
Right.
That would not occur to me. So,
but it made it a lot easier to then pick things up when you came back.
It did, because also I was being honest that this is how I felt, and just that honesty makes you feel better.
Right.
That it's the fear that these people will see me this way, and that's what makes it good when you do have it amongst friends.
Right.
But even now, as I'm talking right now, I just feel so panicky. I know I'm not going to have an anxiety attack. I know the stakes, sadly, the stakes aren't like you won't kill me if I start to sweat.
Right.
But it is weird, though, that
just talking about it triggers it.
Yeah, just talking about it triggers it. And the symptom, which is I'm all over the symptom all the time, and what it means is the instantly forgetting what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just anxiety. It can't be anything but anxiety. I could remember probably 2 pages of material if I didn't have... I could alphabetize 40,000 things if it didn't matter to me.
Right.
Or I could remember your number, your cell number.
Yeah.
So what? How does that help me?
Well, are you okay?
I feel panicky. Not bad though. Maybe more coffee.
Do you want more coffee?
No. That's what I was saying. You say when you feel the panic, you don't want the caffeine.
Right.
At that point, it's so light. It's so light, but it could be my new shtick that I'm able to have a panic attack in any environment.
It's like an actor who can cry on command.
And I still can't do that. Can you cry? Could you?
I could probably get there.
Oh, man.
I don't think everyone's ever going to give me a role where it matters if I can cry or not.
Did you ever had to do it, though, in a class or something? Or
No. Yeah. It doesn't take much to get me to cry in real life. Show me something really happy and I cry.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I never cry from tragedy, but I cry like hell from anything happy, pretty much.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's not weird. Just
It's a little weird.
Just I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. You know. We're all broken.
Live and learn. I don't think we're that broken.
I don't think we are either.
I
For
do.
fuck's sake, we podcast once a week. You can't do that if you're broken.
People, and I come here no matter how I feel because I care about you, the listener. You know, there's people who operate their life that way, but how does that help them? I care about what the listener thinks. Well, then how do you do it? How do you make any decisions?
Well, I think that's kind of why that was part of the impetus for me signing us up for the buymeacoffee.com /thought spiral. Because I can't remember, but someone like complained about something on the show. And I got really like, you know what? Fuck you. It's free. That was my first reaction.
To that person or you didn't?
No, that was just my internal reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, why? You don't need to have. What's that? I sort of was like, well, what's that anger about?
Yeah. You know? And what'd you think? What'd you find out?
I was like, well, I'm spending 6 hours a week on this show for no anything.
You mean if people are going to come back and say,
well, I just want to go, well, what's going to make me feel like I am sort of more beholden to the listener? What is going to restore that balance of I'm trying to entertain people?
Right. It's not
well,
free.
maybe if there was something that we're getting for it.
Yeah.
So that's what started me on that.
I think it was, well, I also think the thing is that if you look at it, it's not like you're making a CD when in the old days, remember when you had to make an album?
Yeah.
You had to go somewhere to make an album when the days before you could make your own. It's not cost prohibitive or even technology prohibitive to be able to put a podcast up.
Right.
So the people who are affiliating with these, companies, they're doing it, for various reasons. But I really kind of proud that we're not just affiliating with a company, just to affiliate with them. And that we did it, we're doing this in a way that, because the more I hear commercials on podcasts, and the worst one is like this guy.
That was real. That was the other impetus. Is it's like, I don't want to put commercials on the show.
And I don't either after a while because I'm sick of hearing them.
But I do want the show to grow in some way,
right?
And its value to everyone involved, but us in particular. So
right.
I don't mean to have this mercenary conversation, but
well, it's not even mercenary. Well, it is mercenary, but it's not mercenary so much as moving the ball forward.
Yeah, but it's also time allocation for me. It's like
I know.
Can I justify putting this much time into this thing indefinitely without it ever providing some return?
Right. Well, yeah. But I find though, like, who's this guy who's like a right wing guy? Ben. He does it. He's like the right wing hero. He's just completely unlistenable. But I noticed he was interviewing Dennis Miller, and he would say, "So Dennis Miller." And hold on one second. And then he go
Ben Shapiro.
That's right. He'd be interviewing Dennis. He'd go, "Okay, hold on a second. Do you have a website? Or you need a website?" He would go right into this thing with the person sitting there.
Yeah.
It just looks creepy.
Right.
So if it's trying to prevent the feeling that you're being on commercial television, it seems like it's separate from you. But when you have to be the person to go, "Hi, longtime listeners to the show may not know how much I like CeraVe highly emollient skin cream." Josh, have you been using it? Josh?
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
So what do you think? What do you use it mostly on?
My skin.
Right. That's a good choice. And I don't just endorse it because I get
toast.
Now, ZipRecruiter. Now, Josh, I'm not currently hiring anybody.
I'm always trying to hire people.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, but I have such a hard time finding.
Oh, why is that? I mean, I can see that.
Because I have no job description or salary attached to the
So that's why you use a recruiter.
Yes, they can find me people.
Within 24 hours often.
Very quickly.
In fact, sometimes they will walk into frame while you're doing your commercial.
It's true. It's true.
We can't do it. We can't do it. The only way we could do it is if we were hosted by like Farmer John's. Then
the beefy, rich taste of Farmer John Braunschweiger.
That would be the way to go. That would be it.
Yeah.
It's Farmer John's Thought Spiral.
Hey, it's Labor Day, people. It's a grilling national holiday. How about some Farmer John beef franks? Made from over 70% beef.
70%. Farmer John's beef has over 14% real food. And you know it's Oscar Mayer because it's the initials. Hi, I'm Andy Kindler for Thought Spiral.
Your baloney has a first name.
I said baloney.
It also used to have eyes and lungs and a heart. Enjoy. Oscar Mayer.
You know, Josh, you know I love coffee, right?
I do know that, Andy.
Yes, so people have been asking us for a long time, when are we going to have Thought Spiral branded coffee? So
we did one better.
What'd you do?
You can subscribe to Thought Spiral Coffee. It'll be delivered to your house on a...
No, but it could be.
It could be.
The people at Don Francisco's volunteered to send me some of their coffee with a blank bag. How do you do it? You have to make your own bag?
Marin had coffee.
He had coffee.
He had a Marin coffee that I took a pound home of.
He would give me more than that, and I couldn't use it after a while.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't like dark roast coffee that much, except when you
heard
prepare
that.
it. Hi,
what if he would have sent you home with some half and half as well?
Well, now with
I'm sending you home with salmon, by the way. You're
salmon. I'll
salmon.
remember. Let me write it down here.
Okay.
With the pen part.
Because we'll have something to talk about next week about how damn good my salmon is.
Are we good? That's sad. Okay, Andy, you eat the salmon this week, and then when you get home, let's think of
notes.
Let's think of a great movie. Let's think of a great movie. Great movie now.
A great movie to watch?
Yeah. Nazi spies, huh?
Yeah, I've never seen Don't Look Back. The whole
let's do
thing.
that. I never saw that.
No?
No, I saw little brief things of it. I remember Donovan singing. Is that what you're talking about?
It's the Dylan.
Yeah, I remember Donovan.
Pennybaker.
I remember him hanging out with Donovan.
Right.
I remember his manager yelling.
All right, let's watch that.
Yeah.
That's on Criterion.
Now you're talking.
Okay, so we're going to watch Don't Look Back by D.A. Pennybaker, who just passed away a couple weeks ago. And, yeah.
Okay, I'm very excited about that.
Because I've never watched the whole thing.
Great. Do you think we should take a break? I'd like to take a little break. Boom, bang.
Well, that was the theme song, so I guess we have to now.
And what are we doing? What are we going to with the break? You have any stand-up you want to put a chunk?
Yeah, here's a chunk.
From Chunks?
Here's a chunk from Chunks.
Oh, beautiful.
Got a jury summons last week when I was home. That is some very strange enthusiasm, but I like the attitude. I really do, and I'm trying to get a good attitude about it because this will be my 6th time on jury duty. 6 goddamn times on jury duty. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they keep picking me in L.A. Apparently, I suffer from resting justice face or some shit. But they keep coming, and I try to get a good attitude like you. I try to be like, all right, theater tickets, you know? I mean, granted, it's community theater, but where else do you get a chance to have your fellow citizens put on a little play for you? And if you don't like the play, you send someone to jail. It's not that bad, really. And it can be entertaining. Like, I got on a traffic case once, and I was all pissed off because it's like a traffic case. I have to spend my day for 2 people's traffic accident. And then I found out that the plaintiff was this Iranian guy who decided to represent himself. And I'm like, now it's a Peter Sellers movie I'm in. And it was fantastic because it was like he had never even seen a movie with a court case in it before. He was calling the judge boss. He actually put himself on the stand and was asking himself questions. You know, what were you doing that night? Well, I was driving the speed limit and being very safe. Oh, really? And he put the woman that he had the accident with on the stand. He's like, so where were you going? She's like, well, my phone was broken. I had to go to this phone store to get it fixed. And he says, oh, okay. So, were you on the phone? And she says, no, my phone was broken. And she says, oh, okay. Perhaps you were reading a magazine. I had one case that was all in Spanish, like a little telenovela. It was fantastic. I mean, they translated for us, but all the participants only spoke Spanish. It was kind of a tennis match, you know, like, sí, yes. But what happened was a guy walks into a bar. I guess that's why they picked me for the jury. I guess makes sense now. But he's super drunk when he walked into the bar, and he was causing a big scene, and the bouncer has to kick him out. And as he's kicking him out, the guy's like threatening him. You don't know who I am. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Okay, out the door he goes. Everything's fine for about 5 minutes. Then the guy returns to the bar, this time with a machete. He comes in with a machete, starts waving it around, and they get it away from him. He didn't hurt anybody, but thankfully in Los Angeles, this is still a crime. So the best his public defender could come up with as a defense was, my client was so drunk, you couldn't possibly take his threat seriously. And as a juror, I'm hearing this going, no. Drunk guy with a machete is like 15 times scarier than sober guy with a machete. Sober guy with a machete might just be on his way home from his banana cutting job. And needs a drink. It's hard work. So we go into the jury room, and they select me to be the foreman of the jury. And at first, I'm very flattered. I'm like, oh, obviously they see my leadership qualities. And I realized, no, they've selected me to tell the guy who threatens people with machetes that he's going to jail. Thank you. Thank you for that gig. Went back out, trying to manually blur my face. Yes, Your Honor, we do have a verdict. This last time, once again, I was the foreman. And because once people know that you've been on a jury before, they treat you like Red from the Shawshank Redemption all of a sudden. So this time I got on a murder case, finally. Finally. And it felt like that. I say finally for a reason, because it really felt like that. It felt like, yes, I'm finally in the show. And then it was a homeless guy that killed another homeless guy. It wasn't much of a show, really. It was, no, because it wasn't even really a good mystery. Because he killed the guy on security camera in a Burger King parking lot. Yeah, so our job as a jury was basically to watch this snuff film, this like Clockwork Orange without cinematography, over and over and over again. I mean, there were a couple of witnesses, but it was late at night in an LA Burger King. It wasn't a festival of credibility, really, You had the guy giving just way too many details, yeah, you got the number 4 meal, the bacon double cheeseburger deluxe, and it's a good choice. He seemed very happy with it. And a really good value. It's like getting a free drink. And seemed to be enjoying it, really not a care in the world. And he ate his meal, got up, seemed very satisfied, and he just kept going on and on and on like this until they got to the actual fight murder part, and then he was a little blurry. But you know how they always say, can you point out the man in the trial, and then you show the defendant. So they did that. So, can you point out the man you saw at the Burger King that night? And he starts looking around the room. Looking everywhere. And the lawyer says, this isn't a trick question. But he keeps looking around because he wants to get this right. And eventually, he points to the guy next to me in the jury box. Guy in the green? No further questions, Your Honor. Oh, Jesus. So we went into the jury room. We basically just had to, the murder. It was clear there was a murder. We just had to decide what flavor it was, really. We went with a second degree. Nice, tasteful, unprecocious second degree. And I delivered the verdict, and the guy started crying. All right, manslaughter. All right, come here, you guys.
That was from my album Chunks, available wherever chunks are sold.
You can still get it, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Beautiful. I want to tell you something. I enjoy comedy. I don't know if you've heard. You can't.
Is it good? By the way, is it good when the record company president goes, "Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint."
That's a great line. How come you not? That's a joke.
I know.
Did you write that down?
It's from life.
I know, but that's what those are the best is when they're real. Or they're most depressing when they're real.
Exactly.
Well, I feel bad now about you editing things. So we really better make some money on this.
You don't need to feel bad. I was just being honest about it. It wasn't resentment towards you at all. It wasn't like I prefer Andy edits this.
Oh, that's interesting. That's probably what I started to think. I'm going to have to do some work.
It wasn't about you. It was just about being real about it. Like, it takes 2 hours plus to record it. It takes 3 hours plus to edit it,
Yeah, right. 3 hours plus to edit it. It's a lot of time. You get to hear my voice, though, which I think is...
Yeah.
Do you ever get tired of my voice, or do you think, oh,
no, Andy, I never get tired of your voice.
I love
No, I never get tired of your voice.
No?
There's nothing about it that I would ever.
No, but maybe
there's nothing.
How about the
I can hear it so much. I just can't get enough.
Yeah, but
of it.
the sound
No, I
sometimes?
can't.
You love it.
I lap it up.
No, but you must.
I completely lap it up.
Sometimes you must hate
it. In fact, no. There's
My voice?
There's nothing nothing I want to hear more than your voice. There's absolutely nothing I'd like to hear more than your voice.
I'm an old man. See, I'm an old man who likes Edward G.
You're Hitler happy. See?
All right, we're back. And do we have letters and things?
I think we do.
Oh, let's go. I say let's go.
All right.
No question, and remember, no question is too stupid.
Are bugs animals?
What's that?
I said, are bugs animals?
Wait, are they? They are, right? Yes, okay. Why am I not able, do you think it's because I'm A, not smart, or B, too self-involved to keep information in my head? Or a little bit of both?
Little column A.
A little bit of a column A. Your wife wants 60. My wife wants 69. Oh, she wants chicken and rice.
Beef with broccoli is a better way to go with that.
What, she wants big?
Why your wife want beef with broccoli?
In the days when you could basically insult an entire race of people with your little impressions, those were fun.
I know. You know what occurred to me when, as Trump canceled his trip to Poland to play golf, that Polish joke just died off. It wasn't like a gradual demise. It was just like, for a while, there was Polish jokes everywhere. Now, granted, I grew up in Minnesota, where
there's a lot of Polish people.
There's Polish people,
and they're mocked.
Yeah, and animosity and racism. One of the great anti-Semitic centers of the world until about the 1960s. But do you remember growing up? There was always Polak jokes.
Yes, but the thing is that my theory is that they're we need to have a new dumb person thing that isn't insulting, like
right. But they were the perfect scapegoat for it because they were white.
That's true. So you couldn't get that upset about it,
right? I wonder why that whipping boy got taken out of people's hands. Because
I think it's always a good joke. That guy's so stupid. That guy, this Polish guy, but you can't use Polish. And for some reason, I think it's politically incorrect as well.
No, of course it is.
Oh.
but it's just weird how they went away without any notice.
Well, even on The Family, when he was a racist, whenever he'd make fun of Mike Stivic, I was like, is that really that big a deal? The Polish
you dumb
thing?
Polak, you! I remember when I was a kid, I would literally go trade Polish. When I was like a 7-year-old kid or an 8-year-old kid, I would trade Polish jokes with my school principal in the hall. Now, you didn't think about it. You didn't think about it back then, or we just thought I didn't think it was just part of there was nothing to blink at.
Yes.
Even,
Are the Poles not to be made fun of? Except for Lech Walesa. Is that Polish?
Yeah, that's Polish. Yeah. And then that backfired on me because at 6th grade, when I started to have some depression problems, he busted me to my parents. He doesn't tell me jokes anymore in the hall. Let's get him to a therapist.
Oh. Well, that was actually good, though.
No, it was nice, but I didn't want to go to a therapist.
Now, this depression, have you mentioned this before, that you were a child depressed?
I don't know if I have.
And how long did it last? Till Friday?
Yeah, till Friday.
Do you know what it was, ultimately?
No, I think it was just adolescent depression. I think it was just, fat kid who hated junior high kind of depression.
And you did get bar mitzvah, right?
And routine depressed me.
Oh.
As I found over the years, the routine of school.
I hate that thing. Did you have a bar mitzvah?
I did.
I don't know if we ever talked.
December 10th, 1983.
September who?
December 10th, 1983.
I'll never forget it.
I was 12 and a half because I'd skipped a grade, so we made it early.
I don't ever remember being depressed because I don't think there was any separation between the world was depressing.
You were too busy being anxious as a kid, it sounds like, to be depressed.
It's true.
That'll keep you on your toes, that anxiety.
Also, it keeps you when you're either avoiding the cracks or stepping on the cracks. I had 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were more like, they're self-soothing.
If you play them all at once, you're healthy.
I both didn't avoid the cracks and avoided the cracks.
Right.
It's like normal. I call it walking.
Right.
Yeah. Have we done any letters yet?
We haven't.
Oh wow! This is because we have such a good rapport.
We had a lot of ramp up.
Yes.
To get to a conversation tonight.
Well, we had a long break today. I went to a sauna.
Shiftless Element says, Josh and Tesho 120, I'm tired of reading. Let's call it a show. I think you've stumbled upon your signature sign-off. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
There you go.
Yeah. I'd love to have an out every week that was like got popular and everyone loved it. So till next time, make sure it's not this time. Something like that. Just something simple.
Okay.
And so it goes.
You still have about 45 minutes to think of it.
Okay, I will.
Derek Faraci says, with Andy being a fan of true crime, has he ever watched David Fincher's Zodiac? What did he think of it?
I never have watched that movie, and I didn't. I know it's with what's his face, one of the what's his name? He's got a sister too, Jesse Eisenberg, maybe.
I don't recall.
Robert Downey Jr. may have been it. I heard it's a great movie, but I guess I didn't want to watch it because it was. They still don't know what's going on. I will. I should watch it though. It's supposed to be great. Thank you, and good night, and drive safely.
Wow,
no, the Zodiac absolutely is one of the most fascinating ones because I don't think they still know 100% of who the Zodiac killer was.
Yeah.
So he's not a solved killer like
It might have been a bull. It might have been a couple of twins. It might have been a crab.
That's right.
Could have been a goat.
This
Maybe a fish.
could have been it could have been the scales guy.
Could have been a scorpion. You know them. Those scorpions.
But I don't even know the details about the Zodiac killer. It seems really scary to me.
Let David Fincher fill you in.
And he's kind of a good director anyway,
He's a good
right?
director, yeah.
Anyway, I will watch it.
All right. He's going to watch it. Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, if Twitter is to be believed, you either stay awake till the wee hours or wake up super early, or my Twitter's all mashugana. When do you give your MyPillow a workout?
Oh, well, I have a problem with sleeping currently. I'm doing better with the CPAP, but I still don't get to sleep till about 5 every morning. And so I'm not sleeping that well either, I think.
When do you go to bed, though?
Well, that's the thing. We don't. So if our goal in life is let's go to bed like 2:30.
Yeah.
But we tend to not make that happen. I have no excuse.
There's no need to excuse.
Who's judging?
So you work at night.
That's true.
I mean,
I work
not
at night.
enough, but...
Well, I have a lot of acting work in the day. Not so much, though, do you, Andy? Well, that's the thing is I work so much acting jobs that I can't... Really, Andy, how many acting jobs? Just enough to really throw my timing off. I can't get used to it. It's, you know what? When you have one gig at night a month and one gig in the morning every 5 months, how are you going to get used to it?
Exactly. You can't regulate.
Is Kevin Hart okay?
I don't know. He apparently has a big back injury.
Man.
But he was okay enough to get back to his house to get help, but...
That was weird. Wouldn't you go to the emergency room not the emergency room, but
no,
wherever
he
your
had to
stars
get
go?
back to call for help.
Oh. It happened right outside his door?
Yeah, it happened very near his house.
And it was
pulling out onto Mulholland.
Oh, no. If you pull out one of those antique cars or whatever and someone doesn't see you.
I think it was a one-car accident. I think it probably was just it was his new muscle car Barracuda, and it probably,
What is
the
that?
guy driving it probably didn't feel...
Do you know these cars? The Bustleback? I love the name of that.
The Barracuda?
Yeah. Is it a nice car, or is it like a Mustang, but a Barracuda instead? Is it Ford? Is a Ford a Mustang? And good night, everybody.
It was a 1970 Barracuda he had bought for himself.
Wow.
But it wasn't him driving.
Yeah, that must be not a good feeling when you're when you drive Kevin Hart and then you cause a major.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what you want.
That's not what you want to do.
Well, we hope that he's okay.
Yes, of course.
It's not like someone asked us about it.
Brian R. says, I'm sending this tweet ahead of time because I may be dead from a hurricane by Monday. Hope you're happy, Andy.
I love that. I love that anybody at any time can pull on my thread. No, I don't want you to die.
Anyway, I hear Gregory Peck as Dr. Joseph Mengele is naming IKEA products now. See attached image, which is a tag for an item called Borby. Borrby.
B-O...
It's a lantern for a black candle.
What's it called?
And it's named Borby.
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 B-O-R-B-Y.
Borby.
Yes.
Bring me one of those Borby.
80 Morgan says, hearing Josh talk about what sort of trip he figured he would have on acid reminded me of an article comparing the violence of the voices heard by schizophrenics in the U.S., Australia, and the U.K. with the more spiritual schizophrenic experience in Africa and South America.
Wow. Well...
Is there a question?
No, well, there is, like, for example, there are... there's like people. There's a movie about autism where this kid who had autism, and he went to a country where sometimes the kind of autism he had, they consider them more like shamans.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just one example, but there are a way that you look at something where you go, is this person crazy, or are they just looking at things from their perspective? You know?
Right.
Did I not explain that well? Or just boring?
I just got distracted, quite honestly. I was looking
Well,
to
in
the
other
next
words,
question, thinking I could let you hold down the fort.
Sometimes the hearing of voices, if you're in a culture that says that's all crazy, but if you're in a culture where it says that it's not crazy, someone shoot me.
I totally think you're right. I mean, I think if having voices is not something that, I think there are societies where they find a place.
Yes.
For schizophrenics, and in fact, I went and saw Albert Maysles speak of the Maysles brothers. And he had done early in his career in the 50s a documentary about mental health facilities in Soviet Russia. Oh. And you go, oh, shit, mental health facilities in Soviet Russia, that must be harsh, horrible thing. And it was like this incredibly compassionate, loving treatment of these people in an institution where they were just given this sort of wide berth.
Yeah.
To be themselves. So I think, the culture that you are crazy in depends.
Yes.
I think flavors your craziness.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like the only positive thing I've heard about the Soviet Union, about Russia.
Yeah, it was really surprising. Julius Kelp says, some people say he ascended into the sky. Others say he never existed at all. The mysterious Tweet Bahara has simply vanished. I'll let you know if I hear from him or her. I think Tweet Bahara got suspended from Twitter.
Why?
Who knows? He can't tweet and tell us.
Wow. He's a normal. He doesn't like going to any crazy things.
Terry Caulfield says, when are we going to see Andy's dance video a la Bert Kreischer?
I haven't seen Bert Kreischer's.
Bert Kreischer put out a, of course, shirtless dance video thing and to promote his tour.
He's kind of a wise guy, though.
Sure, he's a Weisenheimer.
No, but I mean, he's like he'll do stuff like that.
Yeah, he's shameless, I think is the word.
Is he naked from the waist down? And why am I asking?
No, waist down, he's covered.
Okay. Well, I'll do something. I'd love to do it. I'm a fan of my dancing. I've got it.
Michelle Wisecarver.
Hi, Michelle Wisecarver.
Who was a founding donor on Buy Me a Coffee.
Ah, thank you, Michelle.
A generous multi-coffee donation from Michelle Wisecarver. She says, Josh, you killed me this week with the arm up the ass bit. This tweet must look super weird to the uninitiated. Andy, I just watched the documentary about Judy Toll, and you were just lovely in it. Nice to see your emotional human side. As always, love you both.
That's so funny. That's so funny. My emotional and human
A nice
side.
break from your soulless monster side.
Yeah, that's quite a. I haven't seen that documentary in a while, but I really miss Judy Toll, and I encourage anyone to see it if you can see it.
And you dated her for a while?
We had like 1 or 2 dates, but we were really good
You were
friends.
just dear friends.
Yeah.
It was one of those let's not fuck up our friendship by dating things.
Yeah, we dated once and then we were friends for years. That's how most women want to relate to me after sex.
All right.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
And I say to them, is it my horrible performance in bed? No, not necessarily. How about the constant gasping for air?
I'll always have the flashbacks. Kirk says, how do writers come up with character names? How do you come up with character names?
Well, I haven't come up with a bunch of them, but usually they're very hard to make a character name, especially since every name has been taken, where the character, like, okay, Ralph Cramden, to me, is one of the best names because he's all crammed in.
Yeah.
You know, so now maybe they didn't think about that, or then the apartment's small. So when you can do that, it's good. It's good, but you can't always do that. If you do it too much on the nose, it sounds too
Right.
like
You
you're
get
going
a
for a thing.
fake Dickensian. Hello, Mr. Penny Pincher. Why, hello, Mr. Mean Old Man.
Yeah, but sometimes I think, well, if you don't know why it's happening, and then you look back, oh, that's why this was named that.
Here comes Mr. Steal a Penny. And then Kirk also says, also, I heard James Mason almost took Bud Abbott's place in Abbott and Costello.
That can't be true.
I wonder how that would work. He had both roles. It could have ended up Mason and Mason. So, Lou, I understand we're going to meet Frankenstein today. I'm not going to meet Frankenstein. I think it's on the schedule, Lou. We're going to meet Frankenstein. I'm not going to meet Frankenstein. We're meeting Frankenstein, Lou. I'm not meeting Frankenstein. Lou, I'm afraid we have to meet Frankenstein. I'm not going to meet... Lou, don't embarrass me. I'm a bad boy.
You know that you saw the Dead thing. It's interesting to me that Jerry Garcia was older than me.
Yeah.
But we were both I was obsessed with that particular movie, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Well, it was interesting to me because he had this formative experience with that movie, and I had my formative experience with Young Frankenstein.
Oh. So
My scarring early movie experience.
wow. Yeah. But
Sorry, it was about you.
I forgot, for a second. Well, you should have cleared that with me. Should have cleared that with me earlier.
Did you have more to say besides?
I forgot what I said originally. It was just about, just about the idea of, there's something about that movie that is addictive. I don't know what for like a couple of years as a kid, every year it would come on. I go, I gotta see that. And so that the fact that was also, he loved it. It was like, I guess there's something about that movie.
I was thinking about not that movie, but because of the telethon, I was thinking about those yearly television events when you're a kid. Like when I was growing up, it was like Wizard of Oz was one,
Yes, yeah.
10 Commandments was one, the telethon was one.
The big one in my childhood was Wizard of Oz. It was like a huge thing every year.
And you watched it every year?
I think I did until it became ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I remember when life was so much slower, like when you were younger, it seemed like everything took longer. I remember at least 3 or 4 times gearing up. Because I think it was hosted, too.
I don't know.
The Wizard of Oz.
I think it's funny because you were probably watching it on a black and white TV. So it like never got color.
I remember when we got the color TV, I'll never forget it because I was just, every night I would listen, are they going to get it yet? Are they going to get it yet? And they weren't like we weren't
The following is brought to you in living color on NBC.
The first color TVs where the color wasn't quite right, I love that color.
Yeah.
Like what cartoons look like. I can't even explain what it looks like, but it's like Technicolor or something. It's like vivid.
3-tone.
Yes.
Tri-tone color.
So I actually spent a lot of time in my life, early part of my life, adjusting skin tone.
Yeah, with you had contrast, you had color, and you had tint.
Yes.
Those are the three.
And then you wanted to
and then vertical hold. on the back.
Vertical hold.
Usually on the back was vertical hold.
And those days, and also you could slam a TV back then, and something could happen. You could
Bang it like Fonzie and fix it. Yeah.
There's nothing to bang on a flats on these new TVs.
No, you just put your hand right through it. Apropos of that Miss Basketball Jones to you says, since we no longer have the Jerry Lewis telethon, what would the Josh and Andy telethon look like? Would you still try to book Charlie Callis? What affliction do Andy's kids suffer from?
What a terrible question.
Can we hear you two do a duet of You'll Never Walk Alone?
Walk on. Oh, wait, I would probably, my kids would be moody. I would like to help the moody.
Yeah.
Grouchy kids and see how much money I could raise on that.
You'll never walk with people.
Walk on with love in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. No, I can't hit the high note. Walk alone. I'm a horrible singer, and it doesn't matter that it's for charity. My voice is awful. Now over
Bump.
Now over to Ed McMahon.
Yes, you will never walk alone.
Yes.
No, sir.
What's the Tiffany? Where are we at?
Mouth Almighty says, I heard James Mason's go-to karaoke tune was the theme to Chico and the Man.
I cannot believe that James Mason doesn't even sound like the Fits.
Chico, don't be discouraged. The man, he ain't so hard to understand. Chico, if you try now, I know that you can lend a helping hand. Because there's good in everyone, and a new day has begun. You can see the morning sun if you try. Dado, things will be better. Oh, yes, they will, for Chico and the Man.
Oh,
yes, they will, for Chico and the Man.
that was great, but it's, when as soon as you hear it, your mind starts, your mouth waters. Your mouth waters for it.
You know,
The man they say. This is my impression of you doing it.
Okay.
The man they save, the man they say.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi, he should be able to find Tweet Bahara.
Yeah.
I hope Tweet Bahara is not suspended for a long
He'll be
time.
back. He'll be
All right,
back.
all right, maybe.
He'll repent, I'm sure.
Stop cursing, or whatever he did.
All right. Yoshi says, did either of you, do you want to give Yoshi his...
Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi. Not my best work.
Not your best. But this isn't his best question.
No,
So.
then we don't deserve it.
Did either of you see the hurricane tweet in the vein of Andy's 2 years ago posted by David Simon of The Wire? Difference being Simon was entirely unapologetic and quote tweet slammed a few dozen people from the angry mob.
That's why he's a better person than me. Right. Well, he did something about hope it does.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he say?
Remember? Oh, he has it.
I don't know.
You see, your gripe with me was that I thought I was being a rebel or something. Hey, check it out, man. Check it out.
Yeah, I think it was just you were wishing ill on a whole state.
Yeah, fuck him is what I say now.
Yeah. Yeah, but David Simon has a whole different
I know.
stance.
He's like, he's a
He
genius.
enjoys that kind of
Yes, he
flack,
enjoys it, and
'cause
he's
he'll
ready to
write,
tell you off.
You douche drinking fuck mook or some shit,
He's so good. Yeah, he's righteously angry and can talk.
Yes. Dan March says, which of the comedians of the past do you think deserve a wider recognition today? This question is only for Josh, since we know Andy's answer is the Ritz brothers. Which comedians of the past do you think deserve wider recognition? Probably, I've said Red Fox recently,
Right.
and I think his stuff was, though filthy, surprisingly contemporary. Dick Gregory probably deserves some spins. I think Shelley Berman probably deserves some.
Even Jonathan
Some
Winter,
memory.
who was very famous, I think could have been. What's the question? More?
Yeah, I feel like Jonathan Winters has
everyone
been
knows him. Yeah,
the reverence for Jonathan Winters has survived him.
For my own selfish purposes, I wish I knew more like Shecky Green and things like this.
Myron Cohn and those people.
Yeah. What was the other second name?
Myron Cohn, and I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like there was all the Catskills guys, but it kind of so many of them were buying jokes and trading. That it's kind of like until the '60s, it kind of
you look like a great bunch of folks.
There's a lot of interchangeability.
Yes.
Well,
vaudeville was interchangeable acts
with all the Jackies and Jack E's and Jack. David Brenner at his best probably deserves.
Yeah, he didn't wear well on me, so maybe that's why it was hard. But he was funny.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. He was so ubiquitous.
Yeah.
As a celebrity in the '70s, but he was pretty funny.
It's hard
not
to
like
talk.
One of my faves ever, but I'm.
Yeah, but it's hard to talk because a lot of times you're talking about people who were bigger. But we just don't remember them.
I'm just talking about people who, if you talk to a 20-year-old today, wouldn't have heard of these people.
Well, I would have liked to have seen what Joe Antis was because I love that book by Philip Berger, The Last Laugh.
Yeah.
And they talk about Joe Antis being Lenny Bruce's friend.
Right.
I would have liked to have seen some of those guys who... Or I would have liked to have seen Sandy Barron more. I just saw Sandy Barron in a movie. He was great in it. He was like a good actor.
Yeah.
And Hey Landlord, those shows.
Seth Dick III says, if I participate in the Buy a Cup of Coffee fundraiser, can I have a cup of Joe with you when we are in the same city? Or is it just a figurative thing?
I don't know. We
historically, Andy's had coffee with people.
That's right. Where does Seth Dick live, the third?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, first of all, when you're talking about coffee...
He's got it listed as Melonville, so that's not helping.
Is that where Fernwood Tonight was? No.
That was Fernwood.
Ah. Stupid. I think his SCTV was Melonville.
Yeah. Chris Olson says, Josh, I hope you've recovered from suffering through 5 hours of the Grateful Dead. Have you ever heard the rumor that James Mason once dropped acid with Jerry Garcia? I can't imagine that scene. By the way, your Dylan impression last week was brilliant.
Yes.
Well, I'm seeing trails now, Jerry.
Well, you're okay. Just remember, it's going to pass.
No, I feel like I'm slipping down a swirling vortex of despair.
Well, just go.
Like there's a bubble of poison in my loins. Help me, Jerry.
I will. I'm here for you, James.
I'm slipping away. The only thing that will save me is about a 14-minute guitar solo.
I can give you the drums.
Damn it, Jerry. I'm slipping away here.
A 14 minute. I love the way the Grateful Dead anger slips out.
Michael Lapsley, who was in fact our very first Go Coffee Me guy.
Oh, well, thank you.
With 5 coffees he gave us too.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That's like a person saying, you know what? I'm going to get you guys off.
That's a hug and a reach around is what you're saying. I'm saying hug. You're saying reach around is what you're saying.
Oh.
Hi, when can we expect a line of Thought Spiral action figures? Each could come with one of the dogs as an accessory. Press a button on the back and each figure yells, Bobby! Great gift for the holidays.
I'm not sure it would be a great gift for the holidays, but I would like to see it.
I would too. The sad thing is that the technology exists for them to exist.
But the market doesn't.
The market is small.
You know, I am literally...
The dogs would be the hardest, I think.
I'm not amazed, but how many people love James Mason?
I feel like I'm single-handedly kind
and not only love
bringing him back.
They love him in odd situations. They like him as a chef.
They do. People love Big Jim.
Cheers. My name's James Mason.
Just High Low asks the opposite question to the earlier one. Who are Andy and Josh's favorite up-and-coming new comedians?
It's always a tough one. I love James Adomian. I've said that a million times.
Is James Adomian really an up-and-coming comedian?
No, he's not
at this
up-and-coming.
point?
So who's up-and-coming is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I can never think of who the new people are. I see them all the time in clubs.
All right.
And I'm working with them.
Right, but they're young, so they shun you.
But their names escape me. I have to get a list together. You know what I love is the guy Julio Torres, who is on Saturday Night Live, and he has a couple of his own shows now. He's hilarious. Julio Torres.
You know who had a funny set last week on Conan was the guy who's with your management firm, Mohanand El Shiki.
Yeah. Oh.
He had a good set.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, we did a particular show with you together.
Yes. Yeah, he's a good kid too.
Yeah,
All
I liked him. So let's say him. Let's give him the plug.
He's great. Yeah.
Larry Harold says, hope homework returns soon. Coming next week, we're watching...
Where were you reading our thing?
Don't Look Back, we're watching?
Don't Look Back by H.K.A. Pennebaker.
Yes, Mr. Pennybaker. Oh, wait, that's his real name. Hope homework's returns soon. Love those discussions. Have you ever spilled family business in your act and had to say sorry? No, but I did. I had sought permission to spill things in the act.
Like, oh, yeah. In general.
Like, hey, Mom, do you mind if I say this? Say whatever the fuck you want, was her response.
Your mom?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to sometimes, there are some people who will talk about their parents with problems while they're alive, and some of that just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's all good fun.
Tim Jackson says, I was at brunch on Sunday and heard a woman at the table behind me say to the waiter, I have a question about the habanero bowl. I won't tell you what the question was, but I answered under my breath.
Huh. What's it called? The habanero bowl?
He answered under his breath. It's habanero, so it's just a regular amount of spicy.
I have a question about the dynamite skull drink.
Right.
The dynamite skull fireball.
I have a question about the tongue puncher.
Yes. Now, my tongue is peeling off. Is that good? Is that good? It means it's a good spicy?
Greg Kelly says, I was at my friend Bobby's Labor Day picnic. That's right, Bobby. And someone said James Mason was Spielberg's first choice for the sheriff in Jaws. That can't be right, can it?
No, I think the person has some bad information. But it would be interesting, though.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I'm going to need what?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
If Josh does ever have a breakdown, it will be James Mason related.
I shit my pants. Don't try to stop me. I'm not done yet.
You have some thought spiral visitors here. They want to see you.
Oh, really? Let me put on my face.
Hey, Josh, we just came to the hospital where you're on your deathbed to say, can you do James Mason on his deathbed?
Chris says, Josh, seen Netflix docuseries The Family? I'm curious if you think the doc maker avoided the obvious potential taint of a conspiracy theorist flick. I found it a compelling and disturbing watch. Yeah, it felt like I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a couple episodes, and it didn't feel too pandering to conspiracy theories.
No, I thought it was great. Is this the one about the religious people?
Yeah, it felt pretty journalistic, as you know.
It also was a little open-ended, too. Like, you could see they were evil, but maybe that one guy wasn't. I don't know.
Right.
Did you think that one guy was evil? The main guy?
Hard to say. I mean, he's sort of evil in the sense that he's working against what I believe is right, you know. But do I believe that people have a right to work the system in their favor, too?
No.
It's the system's to blame, I guess, is really the upshot of that whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing was the prayer breakfast gets me going. But I like Jimmy Carter, and I like his spirituality, so.
Seth Hitsky says, hi, gentlemen. The old Jew new technology segment has me laughing out loud. Still listening and enjoying. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Is that a segment?
Sure.
Excuse me, young man. Can you explain to me the difference between a CD-ROM and an even older format, a laser disky?
I'm looking for 8-track ROM.
2.0. I'm looking for anything that has 2.0 after it.
Kenny Loggins the third. Doop, 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 doop.
Da-da-ba, bang, boom.
No.
Get a job.
No. Dip, 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 dip. I'm all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's many different uses for dip, 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 dip.
It's true. Dip, 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 do. Get a job. I think Andy's radio bit on the show needs official classic rock bumpers from the real Kenny Loggins. Hi, I'm Kenny Loggins, and I'm feeling all right about the Thought Spiral here on the Eagle 97.9, since he's home for classic rock.
Hey, it's 65 degrees. You might as well get footloose by listening to the new Thought Spiral show.
Yoshi's back to say, last one, Andy, I thought Chip Chinnery was the one with the seasonal material, or was it also Bud Anderson?
No, it was not Chip Chinnery, because Chip Chinnery is a funny comic who didn't take himself seriously. Bud Anderson took himself deadly seriously. Like, if Chip Chinnery said he had seasonal... I used to do a joke about... Maybe you're thinking about the joke I used to do about Chip Chinnery, because he had to do a joke about Charlie Brown's Christmas special. So I used to joke with him that he goes, well, the Charlie Brown's Christmas special was just on. And then a couple of days later, well, coming up is the Charlie Brown. So that's what I, maybe, or something. Great story.
Mad City Architect says, Chuck Todd, Andy, go.
Okay. The most amazing thing about this recent Chuck Todd stuff is I don't even have to watch him to see his horrible things. I never watch him anymore. And then you just come home and you see Chuck Todd is trending for saying some horrible thing like both sides are to blame for gun control. He's just the nation has agreed that he's a horrible person.
What I did like is a few weeks ago, people were going after him about something, and there was a bunch of goatee jokes. And the next week he started growing a full beard.
I bet that's as a reaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely it was. Because I saw a couple of goatee jokes that got big Twitter play.
He has literally the worst goatee that I've ever seen.
Stand By Your Man says, in TS120 you briefly talked about Network. I realized I knew references from it, but had never seen it. I remedied that this weekend and loved it. Bring back Homework, unless you already did in 121, which I haven't listened to yet. No, but we touched on bringing it back in 121.
And we got people's hopes up. We wetted their salivary glands or appetite.
Mark Thompson says, what would it sound like if Andy's Mr. Weinstein boss had to fire Josh's Gregory Peck Mengele after discovering he's cloning Hitler's?
Mr. Weinstein, please come into... Mr. Weinstein, please.
Yes, Mr. Kindler.
Mr. Weinstein.
Yes.
Now, I certainly do not want to cast aspersions upon you, but I've been hearing that you have been in communication with some Nazis. Is this not true, Mr. Weinstein?
Well, yes, I'm a Nazi.
Oh, well, that explains it.
They're family.
Well, but look, it does not fit the big-time ceramics.
Look, you called me. I could get back to work. I have Hitler cloning to do. I mean...
Shirts. Well, okay, well, keep it down to keep the Nazism down to a cold draw, Mr. Weinstein.
A cold draw, did you just say? All right. Stupid Jew. I'm going back to work now.
Did you call me a stupid Jew?
No, I didn't. I said, sir.
What do you mean I'm a yid?
I can't believe I got over there without getting fired for cloning Hitler's.
Oh, come back in here, Mr. Weinstein.
Nope, gotta go, sorry. Long weekend.
Mr. Weinstein.
Holiday weekend, sorry, gotta go.
Are you cloning?
Got a date with Bobby.
Good button. That had a good blow.
Haley Farley says, Andy, I love a man that watches Real Housewives. What is your favorite housewife city? Who is your favorite housewife?
Boy, that's a tough one to do. I think that they're all in their own ways kind of horrible people. But maybe Lisa Rinna might be my favorite. I don't know. There's nobody that you positively look forward to seeing.
I met Lisa Rinna years ago, and she was pleasant. If that helps.
Yeah, she seems very nice. And this last weekend at a local grocery, I saw Lisa Vanderpump, and she was there for like 20, 25 minutes.
Wow.
I even flirted with taking like a picture they don't know you're taking a picture.
Right.
So
but then what do you do with it? Then
nothing.
You post it and they go, the fucker took a picture.
I would not. I wouldn't have posted. That's the thing. I would not have posted it. So what am I doing with it?
Exactly. It's just something for your wife to find at that point.
No, it just means like I don't know why. I was like, oh, it's Lisa Vanderpump. You can't stop doing it, especially if you're a Housewives fan. But I do know it's a guilty pleasure. And I know that it's a process of diminishing returns. Because the entire show, no matter what part of the country it's from, it's like, I think I'm going to have a party this weekend. Are you going to invite Clarushu? No. Well, how about Schmidnicki? Not after what she did to me at the thing.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Oh, you're opening up your own shoe line. Oh, let's have a big party. They're always opening up shoe lines, dress lines,
Sure.
or restaurants. And that's why I keep coming back.
None of them are ever like opening up disaster recovery.
They've done a little bit of crap like that, but it doesn't usually work. Do you have any guilty pleasures like that?
No. I mean, I like American Pickers, which isn't really a guilty pleasure.
I think it veers towards that because
It's
it's a little bit sticky.
It's not that sticky.
No, it's not. It's good.
I mean, it's not that.
It's not like Housewives horrible.
No. It's not, it's not that contrived feeling because there's a very specific purpose to it.
Right, so you can enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just good TV noise, but I don't, it's the opposite of, like, I don't get engrossed in it. I like having it on.
Right.
As opposed to the soap opera involvement. I don't have any show that I have soap opera involvement
Yeah.
in.
I think I have soap opera involvement with the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
But I also like these shows like $1 Million Homes or whatever the thing it is. I don't like, but I always mix hate like them.
It's Robeans from Tesho 100, still waiting on that P.O. box to send you fellas some free coffee. I also heard Huell Hauser liked to visit coffee shops. Is that true? Is that a no foam soy latte you're drinking? That's amazing the way you did that.
Well, it's a good drink. They have good coffee here.
It seems like you've taken a bunch of buzzwords and put it into a cup.
Well, kind of that way. It's very. What I'm thinking about is that why haven't I given the box number to this? Was I supposed to do this?
We said we would, but it's like, do you want to say? Can you say your PO box number?
No, not on the air, but I could say that you could send it to me afterwards.
Okay.
Don't you want free coffee? Is it his coffee?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, is it Mad City Architect?
It's Rob Beans Coffee.
Rob?
Rob Beans Coffee.
Okay. I'll take care of it.
Get us that coffee, Andy.
Yes. Yes, I will. I'm always up for coffee. New coffee, too.
There was someone else we were supposed to give so they could send us their music. Damn,
Jesus,
we suck really bad.
Well, write us to us and remind us.
I think we're out of questions, Andy.
I just want to say that a lot of shows I've done where I felt like I brought my B game, and I'll tell you something. I was on this tonight. Well, what a show it's been, though, in many ways.
It's been quite a journey from total non-involvement
to
deep, meaningful conversation that we had during the break when it wasn't recorded. To James Mason. I really thank God this is the week we did buymeacoffee.com/thought spiral.
Oh, that's right. This was the wrong way. Don't go by this show.
No. Average them out, people.
Seriously. If ever you do.
But we apologize for being craven, but please support us at buymeacoffee.com/thought spiral. It took 122 episodes for us to get here, but here we are. It's time to pay the piper, people.
That's right. Step up to the plate. Because by this time next year, I want to be wearing a much nicer shirt.
If you don't want to just spend money for nothing, you can buy my album for something.
That's true. Well,
Chunks available at retailers and streaming outlets.
The way you said that didn't make it sound that good. And also, my album's coming out soon.
Yeah? Any word on that? Any news on that?
No. I'm quitting.
Okay. You're going to Toronto at the end of the month still, so buy some tickets for that, people. JFL Toronto.
Did you mention to them about pour me a cup of coffee? That's not the name of it.
It's not. You should really memorize this.
Yes. Buy me a cup of coffee.
Buymeacoffee.com.
Buymeacoffee.com/thoughts. Oh, also, you can see my work at Cameo if you want a 15.
Let's actually, I think let's go to.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
I want to thank all of our founding
donors.
Coffee buyers. We have 3 monthly subscribers already. We have Darren Crilly. We have Jonathan Greeno. We have Dan Wade. All monthly subscribers.
Oh, that is so cool.
Founding monthly subscribers.
Brings joy to my heart. We love you and thank you too. And do we have a standard close now? We have. Well,
yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what our standard closing
What
would
is
be.
that?
It would be, that's why I'm here. It's for the cotton candy grapes.